With the hashtag MeToo currently going viral on social media, sexual assault awareness is very prevalent today. Now, according to the National Resource for Sexual Violence, 1 in 5 women will be raped during their time in college. Now, during this program, we will turn to multiple resources to figure out what action one should take if this should be you.
We need to really focus on what survival is, right? Being a survivor is a title, but survival is a whole other ball of wax, right? And so I think if we're going to collect stories, it should be the stories that to let people know that it's normal to feel this way. This is a thing that's going to happen in your healing journey. That's okay.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, in the broadest sense, across multiple campuses, there has been a rise in reporting. And while I think some people would view that as a negative thing, I feel quite the opposite about it, because I think, as you said, it happens so often. But the reality is that it's not being reported. So when people look at the report numbers and they say, oh, look how low these are great, not necessarily. That means to me that there are people out there suffering in silence. And so the fact that people are feeling more comfortable coming forward and saying, this happened to me, what can I do about it, I think says a lot about the climate and the way the landscape is kind of shifting.
Lib Rosenmeyer, who's the coordinator for Title IX here at Point Park University, speaks with resident educators, faculty, and students regularly about sexual assault awareness and what to do in these kinds of situations. Point Park University's Title IX department heavily works with Pittsburgh Action Against Rape to assist sexual assault survivors.
So the first thing we'll do when we hear about somebody is make sure that they feel safe. That might mean an immediate response by police, or it might mean that I reach out to them by email the next day. It depends on the severity of what the report is. So once we reach out to the student, we find out if they're safe, are there any protections we need to put in place, then we have a discussion with them about, do they want to have an investigation? Is there somebody on our campus that they want to hold accountable for their behavior? And at that point, if the answer is yes, then we will have an investigation. We have people who are staff members at Point Park who are trained in investigating without victim blaming, they're trauma informed, and do essentially a determination of whether the university's policy was violated or not. If it was, then the person who's responsible for the behavior will have sanctions or discipline given to them. And then if there are what we call remedies that the person who experienced the behavior needs to continue their education, then we'll put those into place.
According to an organization called RAIN, more than 72% of campus law enforcement agencies have a staff member responsible for survivor response and assistance.
So we know from the climate survey the university did last fall is that of those people who responded to the survey, 87% told friends and family, but only 7% told the university. So those are similar statistics. We know that students are more likely to let us know about something if it happens off campus and involves a non-Point Park student. If it happens on campus with another student, they are less likely to tell us. So that's part of our conversations we're starting to have more of now with students is, what are those dynamics that make it more of a challenge to report something? And how can we create an atmosphere where even if you don't want to go through an investigation, you can still come to us and get that support and remedies.
Now, according to the National Resource for Sexual Assault, more than 90% of sexual assault victims do not report these cases. Organizations and departments such as Title IX and Pittsburgh Action Against Rape give these survivors options. Reporting in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Jess Paterchak for Point News.